Super amazing chocolate spread, best in Sydney, glass jar, 100 grams. Fast delivery, buy now, local shipping, chocolate, hazelnut, caramel, good quality. It's a bit much, right? But I get it. We all sell and make products that we want our customers to love. We want them to see how passionate we are about these. But we do things a little bit differently here at Amazon. Sometimes less is more. And by following our listings guidelines, you too can have quality listings and turn this into Uncle Bert's chocolate and hazelnut spread, 1 kilo jar. Just breathe a sigh of relief as I say it. Clean, concise, and straight to the point. As I look out into this room today, I see business owners, both resellers, manufacturers themselves, brand owners, large and small, already selling on Amazon, about to start on their Amazon journey, and I know you all make products or sell products that our customers love. So I'm going to help you show them off with my top 5 tips to create a quality listing. My name is Anthony Maroon and I'm the Head of Seller Experience here at Amazon Australia. And let's get more customers buying Uncle Bert's chocolate and hazelnut spread. Insert your own product title here. How are we going to do that today? We're going to cover 5 key areas. That is images, product titles, bullet points, product descriptions, and A+ content. Now, if you already shop on Amazon, the structure of the product detail page may be quite familiar to you. On the left, we have images and video content that relate to your product listing. In the center, we have your product title, bullet points, extra information such as variations of the product, whether it be by color or product type or size. And then underneath that, you will have your product description. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll have price and delivery. This is offer-specific information, not necessarily to the shared component of the product detail page, but to the offer that the particular seller, who is the featured offer, is receiving. So I'm going to focus on the left-hand side and the middle of the product detail page. Think of this as shared real estate. If you and 3 other sellers in the room today are selling the same product, you're all going to be using the shared product detail page. So you want to make sure that the information in there is accurate and represents the product adequately. So let's get started. They say a picture paints 1,000 words. So what if I told you I could give you the ability to put all that effort of the 1,000 words you want to include in your product title through an image? Let's start off by using high resolution and high quality images. We have the ability to add video content if it's necessary, but also adding multiple images will go a long way to making your products more engaging to our shoppers. Some tips on the screen that you want to keep in mind is to ensure that all product images accurately depict the product that you're selling. You want to make sure that they are high resolution, they are an adequate and photographed image of your product, not an illustration and not something that has graphics on the front of it. So that's for the main product image specifically. And for the main product image, you also want to make sure that it has blank white space. This is a particular guideline that we have here, and you want to make sure that you are always keeping the blank space white and your picture fills up 85% of the product. You also want to avoid including anything in your main product image that's not being sold with the product. I know chocolate and hazelnut spread goes great on toast, but that's not for the first image. The first image is for what your customer is actually going to receive in the Amazon box. So you've captured the customer's attention, they've seen your product image. What's likely the next thing they're going to see as they're scrolling through? That's your product title. Before they've even clicked on your product page, they're looking at your image and your product title. So having short, concise, factual product titles that do away with all of that descriptive language will do wonders, especially for customers shopping in the mobile browsing experience. We recommend keeping your product titles to 60 characters or less, and that is so that they are not truncated and that they are easily readable, especially in a mobile viewing experience. But also, we've set up our listing pages in a way where all the relevant information you want to give the customer will eventually get to them, but in the right spots, of course. So the way we want to structure our product titles is by considering brand, model, product type, size, and color. Let's do away with how it makes you feel to your product descriptions and other sections on the product detail page. The product title is for the fact-based information of your product. So in the case of our dear old Uncle Bert here, Uncle Bert's chocolate and hazelnut spread is broken up by covering the brand first and foremost. Then they talk about the product type, which is chocolate and hazelnut spread. And in this case, the size is what's next relevant for this particular product. If you're selling a consumer electronic product, for example, and the version is a key product detail, well, then that's something that you would include in this product. If color is the differentiating attribute and you do not have multiple variations, well, then you would include the color. But there, clean and clear, and we get all the points that we need to across to the customer. So if you've gotten this far, this is that your customer has clicked on your product detail page. Congratulations, you've done a great job with having good images and having a high quality and strong product title. What's the next thing that's first going to capture your customer's attention? Arguably, it's bullet points. Now, before a customer commits, we're all time poor, before they commit to spending more time on your product detail page, they may just want a glimpse of what it is that your product is offering. Using the bullet points, and we recommend creating 3 or more, but I'll challenge you and go 5 or more bullet points that are also fast and snappy and get to the point, will give your customer more insight into whether they stay on your product detail page or not. What you want to do here is recap information that's in the product title only where it's very necessary, and also give customers the most important bits of information that you want them to determine when purchasing your product. Some things that you could include contents, the uses of the product, the country of origin, if that's relevant, or where it's been manufactured. There are all some considerations to include in your bullet points. Now, if Uncle Bert's had to put together some bullet points, what would that look like? They would have here taste, quality, maybe the fact that they include recipes on their packaging, the fact that it's local, it's made in Australia, and then they've also introduced their brand voice a little bit here as well. Now, again, back to our example of if you were selling something that was more of an electronic variety, you may include the fact that it comes with an AC power adapter, you may include that it has multiple attachments. This is all going to be dependent on your product, but it gives customers enough of an insight as to what it is that you're going to be giving them and why they should pick your product, why they should stay on your product detail page. Now, the bullet points gave the customer what they want. They're going to stay on that page. They start scrolling. How do you take the key elements that you put in your bullet points and exemplify that? That's through a detailed product description. Your product description allows you to go beyond the bullet points, take more detail, and actually give customers a couple of short paragraphs which allow you to apply your own brand voice. Talk to them about your product, your brand, more information about why they should consider it. Now again, this isn't an invitation to start writing War and Peace, but it is enough of extra real estate on that product detail page to go into that in a little bit more detail. We recommend using complete sentences, checking your spelling and grammar, and this will go a long way to helping customers interact with your products. And as best practice, it's always recommended that you include product descriptions on your listings. So for eligible sellers who are enrolled in brand registry, we have something called A+ content. A+ content allows you to engage with your customers in a more meaningful way, using text placements of different sizes, stories and enhanced images, as well as technical comparison charts. What we're able to do here is substitute where the product description would go and include this engaging visuals to help customers understand more about your brand. When including A+ content, this is displayed as from the brand or from the manufacturer on the product listing. And what that gives customers is the trust that the person providing this information or the business providing this information is the brand owner. Here's an example of what A+ content looks like, and I tried my hand at some graphic design myself. Hold the job offers, I know. But if I was to put together an A+ content for my product, it would be something like this. I'd use my brand colors. I'd use the slogan that we're currently going with, which in this case is Bake, Discover, Inspire. I know, guys, marketing spin. It's crazy. But What you can do here is use the images and text placements as you wish. You may choose that if your particular product needs to be compared against others in the product line that you sell, you can include a product comparison chart. Don't know how that would work for a chocolate and hazelnut spread, but you may compare it against other marmalades and jam that you sell. You can see how this would be more relevant for something with multiple technical specifications as well, including a comparison chart. So let's compare. Up here, you have the product listing that Uncle Bert would have created before this presentation. You have a sad image up there on its own with no friends. But then after this, we've got 5 images up there. We've got images and video content, something that the customers can explore and engage with. You've got an image up there of the nutritional information. This is really bringing that physical shopping experience of picking up the product and looking at it from all sides to the online experience. We see that long title there, which you now know I don't love. So we're going to simplify that. And we're actually going to move all that content into the bullet points. Now I know some people are a little bit attached to those product titles, thinking that they're getting rid of all this rich word that's going to drive traffic to their product listing. However, when you go in to edit your product listing, we have something called search terms. And when you use search terms on Amazon, it's the same as if you were having it in the product listing itself. Include the right search terms that you think customers will be looking for when purchasing your product, and you're going to get that discoverability that you're after. Now let's recap some of the things to avoid. We've spoken already about not including any information which is offer or seller specific. And I say this partly because it's following the listing guidelines, but I also want your product listings to stay live on Amazon for as long as they can. You want to avoid using words like new or fast delivery or local seller. As we said, if there are multiple sellers on your page, then that will no longer be the case, and this is not product-specific information. You want to avoid words like prime, local quality, anything that suggests that it's seller-specific and not the product. You also want to avoid warranty information from anywhere on the product detail page, and use the dedicated warranty attributes that exist on your template or in the Add a Product flow on Seller Central. You also want to avoid writing bullet points that exceed 1,000 characters, and that's in total, not per bullet point. And you also want to avoid infrequently reviewing your product detail pages. What may have been super relevant a year ago may no longer be accurately depicting your product. So you want to make sure that the copy you're including on your product listing is accurate, up to date, and relevant to the customer that you're trying to get to purchase your product. So there's 5 success tips that we share today is to make sure that you are including high-resolution images on your product. You want to add a strong product title, include 5 or more bullet points, include detailed product description, and enhance your detail page with A+ content if you are an eligible brand registry enrolled seller. Now, I hope I've empowered you to go out there and either create your first listing keeping these tips in mind, or edit your existing listings, and you too will have great quality listings on the Amazon Australia store. Thank you.